Okay, so now we're going to jump into practicing setting up a matrix so that we can solve it. We're given equations, and this is why we do use a matrix. If you have multiple equations, namely more than 2, 3, 4 or so, it gets complicated to do elimination, so we'll do it by a matrix. So what you have to do is you have to organize and line up each of the values, and we're only focusing on the coefficients. That would be the number in front of the variables. And generally, we're going to go in alphabetical order. So we want the x value to be first, the y value to be second, z to be third, and then on the other side of our equal sign, we want our number over there. Okay, so for the first equation, we have 5x. Okay, so I'm just going to be focused on the 5 when I set up the matrix. Now we have 2y minus z, so we can separate that to be two separate fractions because I need to see them individually. So that would be a positive 2y divided by 3. So just both those terms divided by 3. And then the z value will be a negative z divided by 3. Okay, you can understand that there's a 1 there. You will need that when you plug in the number. So this is 1/3 z, negative 1/3 z, and then our number 4. So this is the way you're going to line up each equation. So that's just the first one. Now the second one, we actually have to do a little manipulation. So we got to distribute the 3 throughout, and I only see one x, y, and z. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in their places. So 3 times 6z is going to be 18z. Z is in the third position, and it's positive, so I'm going to put a plus 18z to line them up. They all have to be lined up. And then 3 times the negative 5 will give me a negative 15x, and x is the first term, so negative 15x. And then we have the y, the plus y is positive, so it's plus y in the middle. So we got x, y, z in that order, and then equals. So right now we have a 5 over here, but we also have a minus 8 on this side. So we're going to have to add 8 to move it over. So 5 plus 8 will give us 13. Okay, so this is what we want, x, y, z, and number. Okay, and then we got one more row, the bottom. So the x is by itself. I'm just going to go ahead and write the x down. And we have a negative, and then we have 9 plus z. So you're going to distribute a negative 1. So you have a negative 9 and a negative z. So I'm going to go ahead and put negative z here. Now, the 4y is on the right side of the equal sign. We have to move that back over here. So we're going to subtract 4y. So it'll be over here as a negative 4y. And that 9, so this is what you need to remember. It was negative 9 minus or plus z. We distributed a negative 1. Okay, so we ended up with negative 9 minus z. So we got our minus z already, but this 9 is over here still. We got to move it. So we have to add 9. So it will become a positive 9 over here. Okay. So this is what we end up with, and we're going to just plug in the numbers, not the letters, the numbers, not the variables, into our matrix. And this is how we set it up. So this will be 5, and then we will have 2 over 3 for the y, and then a negative 1 over 3, and then we have 4. And then we have negative 15, and then no number here, so understood to be a 1. The only time you put a 0 is if you don't have a y at all. So understood to be a 1, and then we have 18, and then 13. Be careful there. And then we have 1 for the x, so 1x, negative 4 for the y, negative 1 for z, and then a 9, positive 9. So if we've not made any mistakes, this would be the matrix that we would set up to solve.